It is Tom Panos here on this eventful Monday, and no one has been more eventful than Leanne Pilkington, our president in New South Wales of the Real Estate Institute, and the person that at the moment is becoming the communication conduit with government. I want to make it clear, it is with New South Wales government, but Leanne's going to cover the public health order, which is actually not just a New South Wales thing. So firstly, Leanne, thank you so much. I'm sure you've had a busy day, right?
Yes, I certainly have. And would you believe in New South Wales today is also the day that the reforms go live as well. So that's a little bit, it's all happening all at once. It's a bit crazy.
Okay,
right?
so can before we move on to it, the main reforms issues going live is what?
I've just lost you. Here you are.
Yep.
Sorry, my apologies.
Right.
So the reforms that we've been working on for the last 10 years as far as training and education, changes to licensing, changes to CPD, all of that sort of stuff, that goes live today, would you believe?
Wow. So 10 years end up happening on the day that people are trying to work out whether they should actually do an open home tomorrow.
Pretty much, yes. Who cares about the reforms at this point, I think is the answer.
No. So Leanne, at the moment, people are just sitting there. They got so many questions they want to ask. Example, like open for inspections. Do I cancel my auctions? Like, so let's go through it. You have just come out of a meeting and you had the whole team of Office of Fair Trading there. So I'd love you to share a brain dump with the real estate industry here, Leanne. What came out of that meeting?
Okay, so the first question that I've been getting asked is, are we an essential business? And the public health order that, as you said rightfully, was a federal order, not just a state order. The public health order actually listed the businesses that can no longer trade. And they were restaurants, gyms, I think we all know who they were. Real estate was not included on that. So that means, yes, we can still work from our offices.
Yes.
We can still have auctions. Yes, we can still have open homes, but obviously there's a lot of restrictions on how we do that. We need to follow the government's public distancing requirements. So in our offices, for example, I know a lot of bigger businesses are splitting their teams. So they've got Team A and Team B, and neither the twain shall meet. So when Team A is in the office, Team B is working from home. And so that is to safeguard if somebody in the office does come down with the virus, it means that not everybody has to be isolated. You will still have a team of people able to work. So that's an important one. As far as our open for inspections go, what we are suggesting is that we move from just a normal open time to having people pre-register. And then that way you can just have people turn up at a specific time and they just go, it's almost like just private appointments, I guess, and they can go through one family at a time. And it's also been suggested that people keep their hands in their pockets when they're going through opens, and obviously, have the agent not within a couple of metres of the people.
And yeah, that's an important. I think that's an important issue because there were instances over the weekend where I've had agents give me feedback, and they say one of the things we're getting out of this is buyers don't need to be encouraged to be bid. So don't walk up to a buyer and be 30 centimetres with them, right? Like they hated it before coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And now's not the time to do it. So Leanne, so we're clear because the calls have gone crazy this morning about, so open for inspections, you don't have to cancel those. Auctions, you don't have to cancel those. You can move forward as is.
Correct. But I would say with auctions, again, we need to be really sensible. So where possible, have them outside, not inside. Only have people that are registered bidders there. Make sure you've got the contact details from everybody who is there. So if something does happen, you can contact people. I just want to really stress that if we don't manage this well, they will shut it down.
Well, that's
so
what,
it's
well,
up
that's
to
what
us.
happened, Leanne, with Bondi Beach on
Correct.
Saturday. That appalling
Stupidity.
behaviour has then created a problem for everyone else, right?
Everybody. Yep, totally. So it's really up to us to make sure that we handle this well, and then we will be able to move, we will be able to continue moving forward.
Okay, can I ask you on rental inspections, the
Yep.
situation with routine inspections remains unchanged, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I know a lot of our property managers have stopped doing routine inspections. There has been no change from the government's perspective. We can still do routine inspection, but I think we need to be really mindful that both our people, our property managers, and our tenants, some of them are going to be a lot more anxious about this than others, and we need to respect that. And so, why not utilise technology? Why not FaceTime your routine inspections? I'm sure there's plenty of other ways to do it as well, but if you've got the tenant with the phone going through, you can direct them as the agent saying, okay, now I need to have a closer look at that section there, or I need you to take a photo and send me this. There's no reason why we can't do it that way. And one of the things that comes out of challenging times is innovation, right? And we may get to the end of this and go, you know what, routine inspections, we don't need to do them that way anymore. So let's see what we can do.
So Leanne, again, on the issue of people, standing at an auction or people at a property, this 4 square metre restriction, that's what the government is
Correct.
saying needs to happen, is it? So
absolutely
4
has to
square
happen.
metres.
That's right.
4 square metres, roughly like 2 hands, isn't it?
Totally. And one question I have not been able to answer is somebody did ask me this morning, what about if it's a family, a wife and husband and wife and 2 children? Can they all stand in the 4 square metres, or do they have to all be separated? Now, logic would tell you they're not going to be separated at home, but I haven't formally been able to answer that question yet.
Well, that's an interesting one, because in an auction that I was doing on Saturday, Leanne, I actually said, ladies and gentlemen, do you please mind adhering to social distancing? And one guy just looked back to me and he said, oh, it's okay, it's my sister. And I didn't know, I didn't know what to, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to sort of say, so I sort of said, okay,
Yeah, well, it's all uncertain times. It is uncertain times. So, I will try and get an answer to that.
Okay, so as it stands as the law, if someone calls you to go do a listing presentation, you can go to their house. If someone wants to have a final inspection before settlement, you can go to their house.
Correct.
If you want to take a buyer appointment to a property, which is growing, this, private appointment, and it appears to be a market that is conducive at the moment to an off-market market for many agents.
Sure.
All that is fine. Let's touch on
just don't put them in your car.
Yes, good. And if you do, put the windows down.
Make sure it's a really big car or a convertible or something. No,
get a
don't
convertible.
put it in your car. Yeah.
Leanne, there's a few real estate agents claiming that as soon as this sort of emerged 3 or 4, 5 days ago, tenants are on the phone saying, hey, rental discount, what can you do for me? What's the story there?
Yeah, it's happening everywhere, both commercially and residentially. There is a National Cabinet meeting again tomorrow. We are very hopeful that the Prime Minister will come out with a response to the rental relief situation. What we are saying to people today is if you have that request, ask the tenant to put the request in writing, and also have them provide evidence as to their hardship, whether it's a termination letter or cutting hours, whatever it is, their justification, because we do know that some people, unfortunately, will be opportunistic in times like this. So ask for that proof. Let them know that we're expecting a response from the Prime Minister tomorrow. And then when we get that response, we'll go to our landlords and then we will negotiate something. Now, something that Fair Trading did say to me today is if we cannot come to an agreement between the landlords and the tenants, the Fair Trading mediators are happy to get involved at that stage and try and broker an arrangement.
Okay, beautiful. We're going to know, is it tomorrow the Prime Minister is going to potentially announce some sort of clarity regarding tenant relief?
Well, there is a meeting, a national cabinet meeting tomorrow. We are hopeful that he will announce it tomorrow, because it's an issue that every one of our property managers are facing right now. So we are hopeful that he will, but he is certainly well aware that the government needs to respond to this as quickly as possible. So fingers crossed it'll be tomorrow.
Leanne, thank you so much. What you've described here is, hey, very practical and a lot better than what I was expecting as news headlines were hitting our TVs at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Absolutely.
I mean, real estate agents were thinking to themselves, hey, I'm going to go off and cancel all my auctions and open houses.
Oh, look, I had a number of phone calls yesterday, as you can imagine, and I had business owners literally in tears with what this might mean. So I think whilst none of us are going to get through this unscathed, I think that so far it's a much better scenario than we may have hoped. And the reality is that there are opportunities in every challenge. We have still one of my agents listed 4 properties over the weekend. Another one's got a second inspection tomorrow for a property that he showed on Saturday. So there are people that will still need to transact, and that's just the reality of it.
So Leanne, the other role that you hold as CEO of Lang & Simmons, the feedback that you're getting, Leanne, is that deals are still, there's an appetite from buyers.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is, absolutely. There's an appetite from some buyers. I mean, understand if you've sold your house and you have to move, that pressure is still there, right? So there's no doubt that that numbers are going to be down. There's no doubt clearance rates will drop. There's no doubt that there will be some opportunistic people trying to get really, sharply priced property. There's no doubt about all of those things, but there's still opportunity to do deals, and I think people need to keep sight of that. And I also think that people need to keep sight of the fact that everybody in the community is just as uncertain as we are. So it's a great opportunity to get on the phones and just not try and sell people anything. I had one of my guys actually said to me last week, "Oh, Leanne, I was doing my calls and one of my buyers said to me, mate, I can't even buy food and you're trying to get me to buy a house." I think it's just, just stay in touch with your people and give them updates as to what's going on in the market without having any expectation that they are going to transact right now. Now's the time to be talking to people and finding out, how you can help them and communicating what's going on in the market for them.
And it's a wonderful opportunity, if you've got more time, to go over that task, that database of yours that's got people there that should never have been there, that you've never spoken to them for 10 years. Here's an opportunity, because you can't spread the virus over the phone. So you can make as many calls as you like.
The phone is your friend as much as you hate it. And
phone's your friend.
Yeah, and there are so many emails getting sent out to everybody around this issue. It really is time to pick up the phone and just talk to people. And even, this forum is fantastic. I've got a Zoom meeting with all of my business owners at Lang & Simmons this afternoon to give them an update, because they just want to know that we're on it. That it isn't dire. If you spend all weekend watching the news, you'd be suffering from anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So it's really important that we stick together and we communicate really effectively with people right now.
Leanne, I want real estate agents to not underestimate the future, not overestimate the future, not forecast it wrong, not be optimistic, not be pessimistic, be realistic. They're going to do that by having information. Like now, people have got useful information. There's a group of people that sat there and said, okay, I've got to work with this. This is what I can work with. So as information comes on, and we won't hit you up every day, but when we've got a heap of information that we can do a brain dump with, I'd love to have you back on. I think you're going to play a very important role in the next month or so as people adjust. And there's a great saying, if you don't like change, you're going to hate extinction. So,
Exactly. And I'm very happy to share information as it's coming to hand. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, guys and girls. Press the share button if you want your colleagues to know this, or if you want your clients, because a lot of the times the clients are ringing up now and they're saying, what's happening with our auction? What's happening? So press the share button. Let's get the people out there. That is Leanne Pilkington, from the REI, the president of the REI, and the CEO of Lang & Simmons. Thank you, Leanne.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.